Our next session for today's topic is introduction to Revman and the Stata. Today we have with us Dr. Kamal Narayan Kalita. He is an associate professor in the Department of Psychiatry, LGB Regional Institute of Mental Health, Tejpur, Assam. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Dr. Kamal from Tezpur. Tezpur is a very small town in Assam. It's almost in the eastern part of the whole India. You might be hearing about the Chinese aggression in 1962, and the Chinese came till till Tezpur, and our hospital superintendent was famous because he was the only officer in 1962 to stay in the station, and for his that duty he was offered Padma Shri in 1963, and it's beside Kaziranga, and I welcome all of you to Assam. It's a beautiful land, lots of natural beauty. Kaziranga is a national park where you get one-horned rhino. So with these things, I'll be telling on Revman and Stata. Revman and Stata, these are two softwares which help in meta-analysis and systematic review. So once we get to know all the stages of a systematic review, like framing the research question, then the steps of search of literature, then the issues of making it in a PICO format, then data extraction, then compilation of the things, all those risk of bias, forest plot, funnel plot, all those different stages that can be done in Revman, which is full name is Review Manager, and the Stata is a statistical software. Statistics and data, both these two give Stata. So with these three words, Revman is the current version is 5.4. Almost every year it gets updated. Now Revman has got a software and also it has got a web version. These two different versions are here. There are certain advantages of both software version and the web versions. So we can come to those things in a overview manner. So Revman is a software of Cochrane collaboration for maintaining the Cochrane reviews. So it can be used for making the protocols of a study and also full review. It has all the steps of a protocol and a full review, namely those text part, then comparison of different studies with different subheadings, comparison of different tables. There are different types of tables, and also the study data. It can help in what we call doing the meta-analysis with the data itself, and also we can take help of some other statistical tool to do the meta-analysis of the input data. It has got a facility of giving the result in a graphical manner. So if we come to the software, then we actually get two panels. To the left panel, it's called the outline panel, which gives the broad headings, and in the right side, it's a content panel that says about the different information like text, result, figure, and in bottom that says the progress of the review, whether it's in busy or so we have a document indicator. Above it, there is a menu bar. So we need to what we call install the Revman, which is a free software in the Cochrane collaboration file, which can be downloaded from the Google search bar or any search bar. It gives those things. So we only need to give certain information of us regarding our name, the roles, affiliations. With these things, we can get registered. So it can be used to do all types of reviews. One is the interventional review, which is almost what I call the maximum used part for interventional review. Then the diagnostic test accuracy. Methodology review is another option. Overview of reviews and flexible review. So it can be used for 5 different types of reviews. we told about the different steps of a review. That's framing the question and defining the objects, sourcing and selection of in different uh, what we call repositories, be it Medline, PubMed, or Sinhal, Cochrane itself. So from those we select the studies. Quality assessment of all the studies that can be done. There can be data extraction and the statistical analysis as a whole. And the final step there will be the interpretation and presentation of data. So in each review, the review and the DOI, these are the identifiers in the Cochrane library or the main repository called the RC. Review number is a sort level which can be edited, but the main thing is that it gives the name of one of the main author and also the year. Uh, so the person describes the description of latest version when the review is set, and status if the review is active or withdrawn or inactive. This is also shown in the what they call Redman's review property. In the what they call stages can be either in the protocol value or in the full review. Redman can be used for both Cochrane and non-Cochrane reviews also. So some properties are a bit different, uh, uh, and the Cochrane reviews need some kind of registration before. So here in the protocol information or in the review information, there is the first is the title. Title is shown at the top, and the title has to be agreed between in the group. And once it is agreed, there should not be any sense in the title. Authors, they according to different rules, there will be authors designated, and one of the author can be a corresponding person. But the corresponding person need not be an author too. That issue is also there. And an author is assigned to a review by linking the review with his or her record in the RC. So that's that contact person with the correspondence. It must have a corresponding person, and it's usually one of the authors, but maybe others also. Sometimes it can be a group also. That it's a team of authors which to be cited as a group. So in the Cochrane's website, there are lots of different kind of groups working in different illness groups, and there are regional groups also. Cochrane South Asia, Cochrane what we call UK, or in different kind of different affiliations too. In the main text part, in every review there is a fixed heading. Then the headings are in blue color, which cannot be deleted. And there are three other types of headings which are recommended. It's a predefined in RevMed part, and it is included when a new review is created. There are suggested and optional headings, and also user-defined headings which can be added manually. In the headings, these are structured to different headings levels, like heading 1 being the highest level, which is reserved for the main section, like abstract or discussion. Whatever discussion, abstract may have again different kind of subheadings, like say introduction or the methods part or the aims part and the result part. So those are different subheadings that might come in the heading number 2, 3. So in subheadings always is at a one level lower than the predefined heading of its parent section. Like types of outcome measures is at heading number 3. There can be also optional headings like adverse outcomes under the types of outcome measures that will be below the level of 3. So these are different headings that are structured in a tree-like pattern in Redman. In importing text, Redman can text most of the what you call import most of the files in the HTML format, and also can there can be typing also. We can do typing in the Redman software or also in the web page, and it can also make a copy paste kind of thing from doc file. So it's primarily for the files which were originally exported from the Redman repository. So file must have correct headings and must not have extra formatting. So that's one thing we need to look into. Regarding tables, there are different 5 types of table. Like we had 5 types of different reviews that can be done under Ravman, and types. The tables are also of 5 types. The tables in the main text is optional. We can give it, we may not give it also. But in characteristics of tables, it is mandatory. Risk of bias table is also optional, and in case of the diagnostic accuracy test, it is called the assessment of methodological uh, quality tables. Summary of findings table is also optional, so that can be generated with a grad profiler software. Grad profile, grad 5 is the current form, which is also available free to certain extent for in the Cochrane pages. And these tables can directly be imported to Ravman, and or it can be created itself in the Ravman. Additional tables are also optional, and these tables are that are too large or not significant enough may be included in the main text. Regarding the characteristics of studies table, each category of study, either it's included or excluded or awaiting classification or ongoing, has a special table. It helps in sub-classification or going through those tables properly, where you provide the attributes of relevant study. So in interventional and methodological review, each study has got a risk of bias table also, so which can be color coded. Like when we studied about the risk of bias in research and development. Diagnostic reviews can also have a separate assessment of quality table, and in the 4 tables have a set of predefined standard characteristics, but you may also add up to 3 user defined other characteristics in each of the uh, study category. In ordering of the studies, it can be ordered in few ways. One is the study ID, which is sorted alphabetically. It's a default setting, or it can be through the year of the study, like in which it was published when done, or it can be a user defined manner in which we can make the studies go up or below in that manner. So sometimes again, the same study published in different area times. Suppose one project, one report was published in 2004, and the next report comes in 2014. So these can be clubbed together also. So these are some facilities. In the risk of bias tables, each of the included study has got the risk of bias. It has to be individual according to all the studies that are included. So each row in the table consists of a risk of bias items for for different areas like allocation concealment. It can be even the what we call uh, randomization part, even the publication. So different areas of risk of bias assessment, and the author may give a judgment for those what we call uh, in respect to each of the studies, and the description about the judgment of the author. So that's about the description in the risk of bias table. And there are a number of predefined risk bias items, and author can also add their own. So we can scroll down, and also we can add our own judgments here. So some risk of bias items are assessed for study as a whole, like allocation concealment, while others might be used at the outcome level, like blinding or something else. In the additional tables, they have all the functionality of a table in the main text, but have some additional characteristics like it has got a title. It may also have a what I call footnote, and it can be linked to the main text. So these are the additional tables which we if we want to add here. So about the studies and the references that are here, a study will have one or more reference and may be used in the analysis. The basic attributes are the study ID. It identifies the study. It is used in the data tables and also linked to the study text. And these are what I call not longer than 45 characters. One, like we told, the year of the study is told, or it can be identified the name of the one of the author. The studies are categorized in 4 categories. One is mainly the inclusion of studies that in what we call fulfills the inclusion criteria for the study, and the excluded studies also, the studies that didn't meet the criteria to be excluded, but appears to looks like that it may get included. Studies awaiting classification is another category in which it is identified but not yet fully assessed for inclusion or exclusion by the authors. So that's another, and another was the ongoing study, the studies that were identified and likely to be considered in the future if it is completed. So these are the four categories of studies that may be included in a systematic review. One is included study, one is excluded study, one is studies which are awaiting classification. The authors are haven't assessed fully, or the ongoing studies in which the full results are what they call yet to come, and it may be included if the results are found. The references, one is a reference to the studies, and the other is other references. The other references can be additional references cited in the text. Like in writing the text, we can in parentheses those can be given, like from which reference the text is taken, or other published versions of the review, and also the classification pending in references. So other references all have a reference ID that is all similar to the study ID. While importing the references, it can be imported in two steps. Outside the review, the required references can be retrieved and saved in a format that RevMan can open. RevMan can open most of the formats. It can see the PIS format, Medline format, or text format. That then what we call it also reads the Vancouver format, so that the file can be imported and reference can be organized in that, or it can be typed also. So these two facilities are available in the reference section while importing or using the reference part. In the data analysis part, in constructing a comparison table, the Cochrane intervention reviews are based on on two intervention methods. Like the comparison tables reflects the studies will be analyzed in either X versus control and Y versus control. So it's a two-way kind of thing. And the table has a minimum three levels, like comparison, their outcomes, and subgroups, if any. So RevMan has given one example in their own what they call, RevMan has got very good what they call study guides that can be downloaded once we download the software. So they have given the example of caffeinated coffee and decaffeinated coffee for the management of headache. So that's the what has been given in the user guide. So it's X versus control and Y versus control by doing what they call constructing that table. Then we can add comparisons and add relevant outcomes and subgroups. The studies to the outcomes for the analysis, and then enter the data of the review. So these are the different steps in creating the comparison table. Figures can be of again two types. One is figures generated by the RevMan from the data entered. These are different kind of analysis guides. Forest plot, or in case of what I call analytic of diagnostic test, it's just SROC curves, panel plot, risk of bias vehicles, or flow diagrams, which is also regarding the selection of different studies. The figures from the files can also be saved in RevMan format, which it can be any type of picture generated in a software other than RevMan and saved in a format which RevMan can open. So figures can be imported from other files also. It may be generated by the RevMan itself, or can be imported from other things which RevMan can open in a format. In the risk of bias figure, the two types of figures can be created from the data entered. One is a risk of bias graph. It's a plot of distribution of judgment, which is can be low, unclear, or high risk of bias, which are the different kind of categorization of risk of bias across the studies for each of the risk of bias items. A risk of bias summary is a summary of table judgment for each of the risk of bias items for each of the studies. So different kind of computation combinations are possible with this RevMan software. The flow diagrams, these are of two types. one is study flow diagram, which is pre-filled flow diagram based on the Prisma template. So, it's a study flow method based on the Prisma guideline, Prisma flow chart. And it's another way is a blank flow chart, which is a basic template that lets you construct your own flow chart from scratch. So these are two different types of flow diagrams which is there. Others others informations are, one is sources of support, whether it's any kind of internal support, external support, feedback on the title, date of feedback is submitted, summary, reply from authors, information about the feedback sent to the contributors. So it's a collaborative work. So that's it's a Cochrane collaboration method. And review of appendices. Each appendix consists of title and text. There can be any number of appendices. Links to appendices can be inserted in the main text. Regarding the notes, it can be internal notes, footnotes, or published notes. Regarding sharing and submitting reviews, the RC server, it serves as the review group's shared drive or the database for storing. The Revman usually every 10 minutes stores the information that is given to the Revman software. In Revman web page, it is almost a continuous process. Setting is done almost continuously. So review of files can be stored locally, or it can be exchanged via email, or we use the USB pen drive. So it can be exchanged in that manner also. The benefits of using RC is that we get the updated edited version, and they also advise that to keep the only updated version of the updated edited version of the reviews while doing the systematic review. Otherwise, there may be confusion, and RC helps in keeping the most updated version. It keeps record of all the previous versions also, and keeps the track of sense which has been done from one person to the another person. Then it gives access to all the reviews from any computer with any internet connection. So it's a very good way of connectedness among the different collaborators. And the what we call goes almost in a synchronous manner. So that is another help of utility of these softwares like RevNet. While submitting review, again, this can be done in two ways. One is checking the review and choose to submit to the editorial approval option. Saving the file and send as an attachment, as an email attachment kind of thing. These are the two ways in submitting the review. While exporting the text part, it can be exported to an HTML file, and references can be exported in three formats, like one is the Revman format, one is the RIS format or rich format, or the Vancouver style. So these are the three different formats in the references can be exported. Text is exported as an HTML file. That's a basic about the Revman software. You need to install the software and go through it different stages. Then it helps to see how the Revman works. The next is a statistical software, Stata. It's a combination of statistics plus data. It's Stata. It's a paid software, and it's regularly updated. It's like the different statistical software like SPSS, SAS, or R. All these statistical pages have got their own advantages and disadvantages. Stata is said to be moderately easy to learn, and once it is learned, the possibilities of extending it is large. It can deal large set of data, so that's another way, and it is uh, it's largely command driven and can be done manually also. It has got good manual, and there are good online support groups also in regarding doing various work. So that's the uh, benefit of using Stata software. It keeps all the data in memory, which is fast, command driven, faster, easier, flexible. The manuals are quite extensive and the help is there and offers a number of more advanced technologies not available in other packages. It has got five what we call windows, five uh, headings. Uh, so in that heading, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's a subheading kind of thing. So in the one, it is the main window that gives all the output of operations. So this is one which gives all the output. Then number two is the command window, which executes the commands and allows the user to command directly instead of using the menu system. So directly in the uh, number two window, there can be the command kind of thing. It's the command window. And number three is the review window, which shows all the operations that are performed. So it's a collective collection of all the operations done. Number four is the variable window that lists the different kind of variables which are in the current study, and based on those you can select different variables for different kind of analysis. And five is the properties window that gives the data sets in its variable. Okay, so this is the what we call different kind of here. So it has got a front end, has got a menu bar at the top, and these five internal windows that we told about: the main window, command window, review window, variable window, and the property window. While entering the commands, we need to type the command on the command line and press enter. It executes the command and displays the result that the command in the display window. And this is like command variable, and the options. Like we need to do regression of to give the regression of variable y on variable 1 and 2. So it's we need to type this thing, regress y in variable number 1 and 2. So in these type of commands are given in what we call uh, Stata software. And commas are used to add options, to do a cross table of y and x, and to add options in which chi-square statistics are the then the cross table, that the command is tab 2 into y into x, then the chi. So the comma is the to add different commands. So and to do a chi-square test with these variables and in this table format, we need to give the command like this. And the guide which is there in the Stata software, that helps us. Variable names and the most commands are case sensitive. So that's why if we type the word roll number in different formats, like all capitals, all small letters, or a mixture of those things, these will be taken as three different variables rather than the same data set. So these are case sensitive. About the data to be analyzed, it's a quantitative data, and there are three ways of getting data in Stata. One is to enter the data by typing the edit in the command window or by clicking the edit option in the toolbar. These are the two ways. One is directly going to the command window, number two window, just type edit, or go to the menu bar where we select the edit button in the toolbar and do the thing. Cut and paste from another, it can directly bring from spreadsheet, Excel sheet data can be directly input here. And in file it is to bring an already created data set in a program. We can put the in file file name, and by selecting the open option in the file menu, we can get the data in the current analysis. There are certain useful commands. One is describe. So in describe these, it lists information of all those significantly in the memory, including the description, size, variable names, storage types, and labels. Uh, Summarization is given with a sort like SU. It gives the basic summary statistics of the variable. Browsing, it's the similar to almost edit, but data cannot be sent here. Uh, so to look at the data without the what we call risk of editing it, the browsing is a good option for those things. Sorting the data is the highest to lowest according to the values that can be again done, which is also available in the Excel sheet. Uh, Generate to create variables. So this is to create a different variable, we can use the command generate. Replace is the sending in the values of existing variables. So we need to extend certain kind of what they call values in a variable. Then replace is a command that will help us. Recode, it recodes the values of a variable in some other value. So this recoding facility is also here. So this is in the stata. There are certain conditional expressions. Most of the commands in Stata can be implemented conditionally, that is for a subset or a subset of data. If the command if is used to what we call select a subset of observation for use within the instant command. So if we have a data on all the states of India and which to do a regression analysis of variable Y on variable X in states having governments non-visible. Further, we have a variable indicating government's BJP1 or non-government 2. So if we do the regression kind of the regress Y, if the government is equal to 2, this will give what we call the figure. So by subcommand by performs, it's a separate command for each of the group that are defined by some particular variable. The basic syntax will be by the variable name. We write by then the variable name and we give command. So if we have a survey data, which is included a variable for a socioeconomic status arranged in an ordinal manner of say socioeconomic status of low, lower middle, upper middle, or high, and we used to run the separate regression of y on x for each category of socioeconomic status. The command would be by the socioeconomic status regress y and x. So that will give us the result. In basic statistics, one way of cross-step command is step one and variation list. So one way, let's say one way cross table command, it presents a frequency table which percentage of each of the category. So it gives simple statistics kind of thing. Listing more than one variable gives multiple frequency tables. Quite easier to do. And in a two-way cross table command, table two, variable name, variable two, then the options. Listing more than two variables will give multiple two-way cross steps and one for each of the possible pair of variables. So different kind of correlations or analysis can be seen in options are include rows, columns, cell percentages or measures of association. So these are possible with Stata software. Command for correlation, we write CORR and the variation list and see the options. Generate a correlation matrix for a variable listed. In the basic linear regression, regress command is given which is shortened to REG. Then the dependent variable 1 and the independent variable 2 and select the options. So in that way, the analysis of linear regression can also be done. So this is in a nutshell about Ravman and Stata. Both are softwares and probably what we in our anatomy days, in our dissection hall, I remember one writing. I see, I forget, I hear, I remember, and I do, I understand. So this probably holds true for both these Ravman and Stata. Thank you.